Hi, welcome to episode 3, which will we be talking about assistive technology and managing student behavior. So, once again, I'm going to do an overview as per the past 3 episodes now. Technically, this is episode 4 because of the introduction, but we'll stick with episode 3. So, I wanted to talk about is how I've managed these in my personal education experience as well as my personal experience with my brother, which is a lot, but it's also, I want to talk about it with kids I've babysat. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So the first thing is I wanted to talk about picture prompts. I want to talk about how this is applicable in terms of schools. I also want to talk about auditory prompting, what it is, what happens, some examples of it, and how I've seen it used and how others have used it in schools. So, I also have a few other things that I will mention that I've done in terms of managing student behavior with assistive technology. So, first is picture prompting. So, picture prompting, it allows students to have a visual understanding in terms of what is going to be expected in tasks that they're going to be doing or how they will be going about doing their task. This can vary depending on the level of need per student. So, especially when it comes to task guidance, some students need less task guidance, but just needs that visual reminder of what needs to be done. Some need a more in-depth visual understanding of, okay, step by step. For example, going to the bathroom. When I go in, I need to open the door. I need to shut the door. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to pull down my pants. I need to sit down. I need to finish. I need to wipe. I need to pull up my pants. I need to wash my hands. How long? I put the soap. I wet my hands first. I add soap. Put my soap in my hand. I wash. I go scrub for 20 seconds or singing happy birthday, and it'll have the song. Then it's rinse under the water, and then it's dry my hands, and then it's leave the bathroom. Stuff like that, more in depth when it comes to guidance in what they need to do. Um, the lack of guidance and choice can frustrate students a lot. So having this goal, task oriented thing be presented to students um, allows for them to have autometry in what they're doing. It allows them to do it individually. It allows them to be independent. Having this accessibility to these choices allows students to feel great. It promotes confidence. It allows students to be like, wow, I can do things by myself. I can do it. Yay! It shows what they can do. Um, it it prevents meltdowns, which can happen when students can't properly communicate what's happening, what they don't understand about a task. If they cannot properly communicate that, they're gonna have a breakdown. Their whole day is gonna be off. Something's gonna happen, and then they're gonna cry. They're gonna get upset. They're gonna be angry. They can be frustrated. They can start throwing things. They can hurt others. They can be a danger to themselves. They can be a danger to others, in terms of throwing things. Having that unregulated emotion can cause a lot of harm to a student. It can cause harm to not only their psyche, but also their confidence. It can more so deter how they feel about themselves. That interpersonal turmoil can go from 0 to 100 real quick. It's so important to understand where students are coming from. Um, Another thing I'm going to talk about was auditory prompting. So that is pre-recorded anecdotic cues, such as single or multi-word phrases. It increases the probability of doing a desired behavior. So what this means is for example, having a recording of keep working. Are you working? Are you doing the work? What's the task? Am I doing my task? Questions like that being asked to a student every so often helps them prevent from being distracted. It says, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Having those auditory cues of, am I doing what I'm meant to be doing? Maybe, possibly, let me think about it. Stop, take a moment and think, am I doing that? Another thing is having it ask questions, such as, have I checked my blank? It could be, have I checked my checklist? Have I checked in with my teacher? Have I looked at my school prompts? What have I done? This could be done by a parental figure or an authoritative figure, or even could be done by themselves if they're self-motivated to be independent. It depends on the person. Like, having those prompted questions helps a student be more independent. Um, Another thing that I want to talk about is a Palm Top personal computer, which is a handheld personal systems that employs features such as touchscreen for input and multimedia uh, compatibilities, such as text, sound, digital photographs, video clips, and stuff like that. So what that means is it can play videos of, like, this is what I should be doing. It can also play sound to go with it. It has text. It can have a text with a picture, stuff like that. It helps promote self-management. Basic use of the device includes sound and light and text. So, for example, flashing lights and/or auditory beeps, having prompted the students to look at the device. So even if it's not physically in the student's hand, they'll hear a beep or a flash will appear, which will prompt the student to be like, oh, I need to look at my device. I need to see, what is it telling me, what task do I need to be doing. So it's to look at the display message. Messages can remind students about completing tasks within the morning, at school, or evening routines. It could be a whole routine setup. It could be about attending a meeting. It could be completing a daily living task, or skills such as taking out the trash. Did you eat dinner? Did you make dinner? Did you clean your room? Did you walk the dog? Did you feed the dog? Stuff like that, depending on the student. It can provide step-by-step instructions. It can present pictures that were effective in terms of completion of tasks. Such as, did you set the table? Setting the table. Food preparation, cleaning, stuff like that. Having these allows for students to be like, yes, this is the task I need to do. Another thing is that a student can put start task. They can say when they finish their task, when they need to go to the next task. Having these buttons allows for students to have that autometry of what is working for them. What is their next task? Having this self-management of, this is what I need to get done, this is what has been done, as well as, like, what is next, what is a visual of what is going to happen next. Sometimes it'll allow for, oh, this is a break, okay, cool, my thing has prompted me for a break, and it has like a timer type thing, stuff like that. It's really cool. Another thing is visual schedules can be used, like I said from last time, it can be used in schools. Like, having a visual of what they need to get done can tremendously help a student, even inside and outside of a home. So, for example, it supports open and closed-ended play-related things sometimes, if it's for a younger student. Sometimes it can be independent play. It can be like, oh, you can play in the block area. You can play by this. This is how you can play. These are things you can do. It gives the student options as to what they're able to do within that time frame. There's also, like, how they can explore independently, like how to get dressed in 4 steps. I put my shirt on, I put my shoes on, put my shirt, I put my pants, I put my socks, I put my shoes, stuff like that. Having that step-by-step how to get dressed helps students. Like, stuff like that, having that visual reminder and visual schedule set out and being prompted helps a student greatly. So, this can help just manage student behavior in terms of what they need to get done. It helps them regulate how they feel in terms of if task orientation is important to a student. It also can help just build communication. So, for example, like students who can use a device in order to speak and whatnot, it helps them put their opinions out there. It helps them express what's wrong, what's happening. Do they have questions? Do they have concerns? Like, it allows them that autometry to talk and be like, this is what's happening, this is how I'm feeling, help me feel different. They're asking for help. They can ask for help. They can express what's wrong. Having that autometry is so important to a student's need, and assistive technology allows for students to do that. So I have seen this in terms with my brother. We use visual schedules quite a bit because it helps him prep for the day, like what needs to be done, Like, okay, I need to get this done. I need to, for example, in the morning, I need to feed the dogs. I need to let the dogs out. I need to walk the dogs. I need to get dressed for school. I need to brush my teeth, brush my hair. Like, he has his schedule written out for before school, and he has a schedule for after school. So, and at school, he has a whole different schedule, but he knows his school schedule. It's at home where it becomes stressful for him. So, having his student, like his managing his behaviors and how he feels at home, having that schedule helps and sort of relieves the anxieties of it. So, yeah, that is all I've had planned for episode 3. And I will see you next episode.